I hope everyone able to see my screen. Okay, so if we don't need to that service, then we can disable that service, and we can we can stop our billing that. So this is the beauty of cloud. And one more thing actually, how cloud computing works, because we have to now consider one more scenario here, failures. Okay, if the server crash, if something happen and the server is crash in on-premise level, then we have to worry about that. We have to take a physical backups for that. But in cloud, it's not required. Azure itself maintain the replication of this your data. Suppose you are creating, okay, I need a three replications, though it maintain the three replications into the cloud. And if any one of fail, then you can use, by default they can attach, they can link your request to another workspace, another cloud, we can say. So this is how failures are handled into the clouds. So nowadays everyone is working in remote, specifically remote or hybrid. Okay, so everyone is going to connect to cloud, even if the cloud is not involved into this current picture. Then everyone has to work on the company, so work with the physical on-premise SQLs, or on-premise infrastructure. So basically these are the some technical words, infra and all. So will cover into next sessions. So the criteria the the benefits of cloud services and on-premises services. So first thing is cost. As I mentioned, right, the cost in cloud is low. We can pay when I used. If I'm not going to use that service, I'm not going to pay that one. So this is one important one. Next one is scalability. Means if we want to increase our infra, or we can decrease our infra on the using of clicks. But in on-premise level, that functionality is not there. We have to work on that. We have to remove the slots, we have to remove the hard disks, everything. We have to remove the storage account. And if we wanted to add some extra, then we have to buy and we have to add that. So it's required some time. But in cloud it is done in clicks actually, in few clicks. Then technical environment, as I mentioned, there is low technical environment because we just clicks and we can purchase the services. And trust me, it is very minimal cost. Okay, then controls, right? So in control, it's that in cloud services, it's not any the expertise are required there. If you know the basics of that the service, then you can control that entire service. But in on-premise servers, it's not required. We have to maintain into the proper space. Okay, if you remember, if you're aware about that, server rooms, the access of server rooms are mostly denied for everyone, because of that security, because of the the atmosphere which they maintain there. But in cloud there is no such a case. We can check the, okay, which infra is used there if we have access. Security and compliance, yes. Security, if now consider a real time example. There are mostly in companies, or in projects, there are three stages. At least three stages are there: development, staging, and production. Who is working on the development part? Development is like, it's like our kitchen, we can do anything. But if you go to the hotels, it's not like that. It is proper in clean way, right? We can say it's a production database, production server. So they will give only specific access to production. The specific users can access to production database. Same applicable into here as well. But in on-premise SQL, we have to depend on the staffs. Staff they have to give the physical access to us. Then we can go visit the server room. It's required some guidelines there. This is the basic benefits cloud and comparison of cloud server and on-premise servers. Okay. So what it means Azure data engineering right now. Okay, as I mentioned, Azure is cloud, right? So cloud basically we can there are few benefits are there. uh, One is scalability is high, cost is low, and its learning is very easy. Okay, so in Azure data engineering content, we can learn data storage account. What is storage accounts? Account basically for storing purpose. What is Azure SQL Server? How it differ from normal on-premise SQL Server? What is Azure Data Factory? Means what is the actual use of Azure Data Factory? If anyone have experience in the IT industry, they maybe work on SSIS or Informatica. Okay, but what is the difference between Azure Data Factory and SSIS, and why in current days Azure Data Factory is in demanding skill? What is Azure Data Bricks and Synapse Analytics? So Azure Data Bricks contain a lot of things. Few of them are, as I mentioned, Delta Lake. Next one is Lakehouse. These are currently these skills are or these skills are in boom into the current IT industries. Even Azure Synapse Analytics, it is a new feature in Azure. Okay, so a lot of companies are demanding the last three uh, skills: data factory, at least data factory should be must, at least data bricks or synapse. And will this is the content of it is high level content in Azure data engineering. It's not a detailed one, and we will cover at least one industrial project, which is use case in the current industries, how they can build an ingestion system, how they can design the process, how they can design the pipeline, how the entire process will work from one source system to other, and how they can build their analysis system on there. So we will go through on the same in this Azure Data Engineering class. So next point is what is opportunities in Azure platform right now. If I check my current company, right, uh, I took the interviews from the fresher to ninth or 10th years of experience. Okay, so when I say associate developer, so basically those are they have do some classes on SQL database, and they came to Azure domain. Okay, if I'm not wrong, the pay scale for associate developer it's almost 5 to 7 lakhs for freshers. I mean saying. Okay, and if you compare with any other technology, means Azure, if you compare with Azure and Java, then you will see the difference. Some rare cases, yes, there are some cases are there. You will maybe not get a 5 lakh, 5 lakh, you will get a 4 lakh. Yes, it is possible. It's totally depend on how you showcase your knowledge to the to the company. Then in associate developer, then after 1 year or 2 year, you will get Azure database developer. Why it is differ from database developer and Azure database developer? The difference is it means a lot actually. If I have two candidate, one is work on database only on premise database, and if there is another candidate which is work on Azure database, I will prefer with Azure database, because whatever functionality are used in normal on premise database developer, Azure developer knows that. But reverse case is not possible. Means whatever those functionality are present into the Azure, which are not included into the on-premise database. So I will go with the Azure candidate, because he has the most skills. He has aware about database, plus he is aware about the Azure portal. Then senior Azure data engineer. Okay, so in senior Azure data engineer, we can say that work on Databricks, Synapse Analytics, data pipelines. So basics of Azure data. Okay, if you want to start the journey in Azure data, you should know only at least two things. One is data factory, and one is SQL, Azure SQL. If you know the basics of these two, you will crack the interview. This is because if you check on your Naukri platform, okay, and if you just check what are how many openings in Azure data, at least for 1 or 2 years, you will get an entire list. Then positions, then Azure Tech Lead. After 6 years or 7 years, or at least after 5 years, you will get an Azure Tech Lead. Tech lead is different. Sorry, team lead is different, and tech lead is different. Team lead basically for the team. Tech lead means it is a technology lead into that company. It means a lot actually. Team lead is they can manage the member who can manage 5 to 6 7 members or 10 members. But tech lead, when in which case will reach to tech lead. Suppose I'm working on some Azure functionality, Azure resources, and I'm not aware about okay how I can perform my next process. Then I will reach my tech lead. So these are the demanding job roles currently. And Azure architecture. Okay, there are Java architectures are there, .NET architectures are there. In similar way, there Azure architectures are also there. Okay, these are the only basic job roles I mentioned here. There are a lot of job roles depending on the company they are creating job roles, but high level it is this one. There are also two more job roles are there. One is practice lead. If anyone work on companies, they should know what is meant by practice lead. So in practice, or we can say departmental lead. Okay, so we can set Azure practice lead means what are the projects are came for Azure development. So and the person is leading to that means the main person lead. And after that lead will the delivery managers are came. Then the architects are there. Then your tech lead, then your team lead, then your senior developers, then your developers, then associate developers. So if you check in this entire process, everyone is work on Azure. So everyone has some basic knowledge of Azure at least. So I think these are the enough for this opportunities and Azure platform. There are actually a lot of opportunities depending on the company they created there. Okay, any questions you have, please let me know.